The 2025 Hall of Fame class is official. Sterling Sharpe finally joined his brother in the Hall of Fame. Jared Allen, one of the most dominant and underappreciated pass rushers in NFL history, made it into the Hall. Antonio Gates, the all-time tight end leader for career receiving touchdowns, was inducted, along with Eric Allen, who's 21st in NFL history with 54 career interceptions. But one of the biggest conversations surrounding the Hall of Fame inductions is, was Eli Manning robbed? With some saying he should be a Hall of Famer and that it is a disgrace he is not first ballot, while others have completely dismissed him and are saying that he should not be a Hall of Famer due to his extended lack of success in the regular season compared to guys like his brother or other greats like Drew Brees. As a Giants fan and an objective, realistic person, it is not a big deal that Eli Manning wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Plenty of guys who are eligible and should be in the Hall of Fame aren't in yet. Torrey Holt has been eligible for the Hall of Fame for a decade, is 17th all-time in receiving yards, led the NFL in receiving yards twice, was a 7-time Pro Bowler, and won a Super Bowl. Luke Kuechly was an All-Pro every single year of his career, except his rookie year when he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he wasn't a first ballot guy. Jari Evans was one of the best interior offensive linemen to ever play in the NFL, and he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Adam Vinatieri is the all-time NFL scoring leader, yet he wasn't first ballot. Eli Manning not being a first ballot Hall of Fame guy is a product of the system being broken and it taking forever for some players to get in. The real discussion is just, does he deserve to get in, however long that might take? And I don't think I will ever understand why people think Eli Manning should not be a Hall of Famer. He's one of the most accomplished quarterbacks of all time, and it should not really matter if the last few years of his career were subpar. He's one of only 6 players in Super Bowl history with multiple Super Bowl MVPs, and only 12 quarterbacks in NFL history have won multiple Super Bowls. I often hear people say, are we really going to let a quarterback in for just 8 games? He only went to the Pro Bowl 4 times. He never won an MVP. His regular season record was just 500. That is all true, but no one is arguing for Eli to be in the GOAT debate. No one is arguing whether or not he's a top 5 quarterback all time or even top 10 quarterback all time. The debate is whether or not he is a Hall of Famer. People who only highlight reasons why Eli should not be in the Hall of Fame often become so obsessed with detracting from him that they just ignore the case he does have. I already stated the extremely exclusive Super Bowl MVP club he is a part of, but I also don't think enough people consider the fact that he is one of the only quarterbacks drafted first overall to live up to expectations. When a quarterback is drafted first overall, they are drafted with the expectation that they will lead the team that drafted them to a Super Bowl eventually and will change that organization's future. Since 1967, 28 quarterbacks were drafted first overall with those expectations. 11 of those 28 went to Super Bowls, 8 won Super Bowls, 6 won Super Bowls for the team that drafted them, and only 3 quarterbacks drafted first overall won a Super Bowl within their first 5 years. Terry Bradshaw is the only other first overall pick to ever win multiple Super Bowl MVPs. Eli Manning and Troy Aikman are the only quarterbacks ever selected first overall to win a Super Bowl within 4 years of being drafted. Eli Manning epitomized during his career what it means to live up to draft expectations. 4 seasons after Eli beat the undefeated Patriots, he followed it up with a second Super Bowl win against the Patriots again. This run is also the greatest playoff run we've ever seen from a quarterback in NFL history. During Eli's 2011 playoff run, he accumulated the most passing yards we've ever seen from a quarterback in a single postseason, and with the postseason and regular season combined, he also threw for over 6,000 passing yards. Taking a look back at the specific matchups in 2011, in the wildcard round, he took down the Falcons, who had a top 10 offense. Then, in the divisional round, he put up 37 points, outscoring the 15-1 Packers, who at that point in time were the second highest scoring regular season offense in NFL history. In the conference championship game, he led an overtime victory against the 13-3 49ers, who had the second best scoring defense in the NFL that year. He threw for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards against them. Then, in the Super Bowl, he outplayed Tom Brady. He completed 30 of his 40 pass attempts, made what in my opinion is the most impressive throw we have ever seen in a Super Bowl, threw for over 300 yards against a Bill Belichick defense, did not throw an interception, and people still want to say the Giants' defense was the biggest reason they won that game. The Giants had the 27th ranked defense during the regular season that year, and the GOAT leading the 3rd ranked offense in the NFL just failed. He started off the game in his own end zone with all the time in the world in the pocket and threw the ball away for an intentional grounding safety. Dumb play, threw a dumb interception on an underthrown deep ball in the fourth, and was actually sacked less than Eli was in that game. Yes, the Giants defense played well, but Tom Brady made boneheaded mistakes in that game that were a big part of why they lost, and Eli Manning outplayed him against a Bill Belichick defense. Eli Manning's 2011 run is the most dominant playoff run we have ever seen from a quarterback. Wrapping up the video, I want to go back to the people who hand wave Eli having 2 Super Bowl rings. Are you really going to act like it is easy to win 1 Super Bowl? 12 teams in NFL history have never even won a Super Bowl, and 5 teams have only won 1 Super Bowl. In the division Eli played in, the Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl in 30 years, and Eli has more playoff wins than the Cowboys do over that time frame as well. I think it is undeniable that Eli should be a Hall of Famer, and given the voting process, it is merely a question of when he'll get in, not if he should get in. Last point, since Eli Manning retired, the Giants record is 31-64. They have not recovered from his retirement, and in my opinion, he was uplifting the Giants organization and all of their dysfunction more than people want to give him credit for. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should Eli Manning be a Hall of Famer? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.